What's up, Biznatches? Welcome back. I'm here on my now secondary setup at my parents' house. My mom is a little bit under the weather. She was overseas and got fucking malaria and typhoid fever, so she's recovering, but she's staying with my dad at the moment. I got over bringing my computer back and forth every time I wanted to come visit my parents. They're divorced, by the way, but she's just staying here because she didn't have a place here right now. But anyway, I bought a new computer so I can do videos here. That's why I got this fucking fighter pilot microphone. We got a bogey. So I know it sounds insane, but I kind of like it. I have this Snowball or this Yeti mic that I'm just choosing to not use because I like this has some character. When I did my old videos, and I would use this microphone, but I had my black headset. Yo, what's up, guys? It's my first video, so we're gonna go back to those days for a little bit, and we're gonna go a little old school and do a little YouTuber analysis here with the legend John Hill. You know, I've been consistently kind of poking fun at John Hill. I would say lightheartedly. I've been taking it pretty easy on him, and maybe I have something to do with this, but I think there's a myriad of factors that are affecting the boy, and I think he's pretty upset. I thought it'd be interesting to take a look at his YouTube channel and try to understand why John Hill, in my opinion, is having like kind of a meltdown. First of all, I think that John Hill is for sure a narcissist. I think that his narcissism was rewarded back when vlogging and YouTube vlogging was very successful. If you made a video about yourself, people would click on it because vlogging was just a trending kind of way of consuming media, like during Casey Neistat's heyday. And I don't think that appetite is even remotely at the same level that it once was. Like up to a year ago, let's see, 422, 100, 137, 74, 100, 98K, 119K, 178K, 278K. John Hill is consistently getting really, really high amounts of views as a YouTuber, which obviously means that you're doing really well. Now you fast forward to his channel, and his performance is significantly less consistent. 22K, 28K. This one's a short, it did well. 143K, 23K, 26K, 27K, 32K, 21K, 31K, 47K. Another short that did well. Seems like his shorts are popping. 19K. Another short with 302K. So that YouTube Shorts algorithm is just killing it for him with his TikToks, which are actually the main reason I made this video. I want to talk about those TikToks with you guys. If you notice, like basically John Hill's videos are about John Hill most of the time. Even the ones that aren't explicitly about him are still about him. Look at this thumbnail, man. His thumbnails are so fucked. I can't believe that he's 30 years old and he has zero shame doing this. Why I'm not skating in Battle at the Barracks. Oh. His self-awareness was celebrated and monetized and rewarded back when vlogging was dope. Karen decides to leave skaters alone. So that one is like obviously, you know, it's like, oh, a video about a Karen. That's something that people are interested in right now. And you hover over, and it's John Hill with a fucking tripod walking around talking about himself or what's going on in his life. And, you know, that had 40K views. The ones where he's doing well right now, I built the cheapest skateboard on Amazon, which is like, these sorts of things are just brain-rotting nonsense for some sad reason, I guess, which is probably children, does well sometimes. So I built the cheapest skateboard on Amazon, and I imagine John Hill is pretty confused why this works and other times it doesn't. If you look at right above, I regret paying $200 for Nike skate shoes, which aren't even skate shoes, they're like Air Forces. His personal brand is called Progress Daily. Like, meanwhile, the actual contents, the fruits of his labor in his career are like the least progressive thing imaginable. He is just shitting out whatever he is hoping that the YouTube algorithm is going to fucking clasp onto. He's not progressing anything. He's like on the coattails of everybody else that's making completely bullshit content in other genres on YouTube. He's not progressing anything. This is e-waste. This is digital fucking garbage that John Hill is making. Like, he will do anything to get views. And I think what's really sad about the state of John Hill's channel, what has worked for him in the past mostly is when he's done his vlogging stuff and he's been talking about himself. And now he's no longer rewarded with that. People just all of a sudden lost interest. I don't actually skateboard for a living. It's about me. I'm John Hill, 23K views. I just landed the hardest skateboard trick, 22K views. I landed 2 tricks I've been dreaming about, 23K views. And it's like, obviously, this kind of shit, people do not care about you anymore, John. And it's like, okay, you can say, well, leave him the fuck alone. He doesn't care. He's making these videos for himself or whatever. But that's obviously not the case. John Hill wants to get views. That's why when you see I've landed 2 tricks I've been dreaming about, this thumbnail, dude, like, I can't. Have you no fucking shame, man? There zero embarrassment with this kind of shit. But obviously he cares about getting views because he has right next to it Walmart's professional skateboard, $70 Walmart. Like, it's literally Spider-Man versus Elsa YouTube child content that is the reason that I will never let my child, if I have one, have free reign over the iPad, because God forbid they watch some shit that is just going to make them immediately stupider before they even get a chance at developing into a real human being. Yeah, that's my initial theory on John Hill, is that he's trying different shit. He throws things at the wall and he's trying to see what sticks. His personality is no longer rewarded with the views. I think when I gave George Poulos a bunch of shit a while ago, that's actually something I think that he began to understand, that he talked about clickbaiting, and I was getting people to click on all these videos.
Here's an example of something that George would clickbait: 5 hardest skate tricks. Obviously that's clickbait because George is not capable of doing anything difficult on a skateboard. Even back when George was getting a lot of views, the writing was on the wall, I think, for a lot of these guys. These videos are one after the other. Free skate trucks for life, 463K. Full-time job versus YouTube, which has George in the thumbnail. It's about him, and nobody fucking clicked on it. 6,000 views.
But I think he realized that it was never really George's personality that was the reason that people were clicking on the videos. And I think the same thing goes for John Hill. Like, the happy-go-lucky YouTuber vlog style where everything is great, progress daily, full positive vibes, that's great when it's working. That's great when people are clicking on it. What does that translate into once people start realizing that you're full of shit? 1 million subscribers, 6 painful years of YouTube, 18K. That is a depressing as fuck contrast. 1 million subscribers, 18K views. Damn, that sucks ass. Clearly people don't care about John anymore. I can't tell if he hasn't realized this or if he just refuses to, like, modify his content. He has made some attempts at changing up his style a little bit, which is he did some sit-down videos where he talked about, like, Japanese versus American skating, which didn't do well, and then he did one about Braille, which did better. But I think the reason that it did well is because he was talking about Braille. And I don't think that John succeeds in this kind of format. He's just too bland of an individual to be able to expect somebody to actually sit down and listen to him. The video itself is not that bad if you're patient. But I mean, making videos on the internet, people want constant punchlines. They want constant jokes. John isn't capable of doing that sort of thing. So I think that the only way that he's an engaging character is when he is paired with his skateboarding skill. And he's not able to ride his skateboard while he's sitting down in his blazer, obviously, and talking about why he likes Go Miyagi skateboarding. So this video, 36, kind of flopped. And some of you guys might be thinking, 36, that's not a flop. But, I mean, in terms of John Hill, it was a guy who's getting hundreds of thousand views every single video. This is a fucking flop. So you got to remember to view it within that context, if you're not.
Another reason why I think John probably stopped trying to make this kind of video is because it's a lot harder than doing a vlog. You know, you go to the skate park, you film yourself skating. You don't really have to think about a whole lot when you're just filming your session and talking about your day in between. Something like this, where you have to actually create a narrative and come up with points and analyze something, is a lot more difficult and time consuming to put together than just like a Casey Neistat lo-fi hip hop skate park session.
I feel kind of bad for the guy, but at the same time, because he's so arrogant, I don't really feel that bad for him. So he's in a weird place where the only way he's been getting views is by making absolute fucking garbage bullshit. I bought $300 skateboard bearings so you don't have to. Like, you look back in your life, and I know that probably most people don't end up getting to do things that they're proud of, but like John Hill, like he's 31 years old. Is he going to look back at his life and be happy with this as his legacy?
Okay, here's a pro tip for you guys. Anybody who self-describes or uses the word creative as a noun is a person that you should avoid at all costs. John Hill calling himself a creative and other people as creatives, I think it's kind of like the same word as influencer. It's like I don't really know exactly what I'm doing on the internet or with my career or with my life necessarily. My main objective really is to just try to get people to click on my bullshit.
Yeah, John's not the only guy. A lot of vloggers have gone through like tough times. Like Garrett Jenner, I already touched on him. George Poulos, I touched on him. And these guys are not doing well because their videos are all about them. And like they're just not interesting enough anymore within the landscape of media. I think part of the reason that like if you see all these podcasts are popping up all over the place is because kind of edgier / more unique personalities are currently what people are interested in. I like, for example, I like listening to fucking Bill Burr podcast. He's a guy that you just stick a mic in front of him and he can't stop shitting out gold. Like he's epic as hell. He can make almost anything entertaining. The format of like lo-fi hip hop and like self-film skateboarding, like Garrett Jenner / John Hill, these guys don't have interesting personalities. They have happy personalities, but that's not what people are after anymore. The standard has kind of changed. When you make everything about you and that's your channel, and you aren't very interesting, I don't think that it is any mystery why people aren't clicking on I broke my ribs riding a bull. I can't skate. Like, what about this thumbnail is making you want to watch it unless you have a massive crush on Garrett Ginger? There's something that's incredibly depressing about a John Hill video. Like, there's a clip in here where he's eating alone and there's like 3 tripods and cameras and shit.
But this is a 100% authentic reaction.
100% authentic reaction. I think there's 4 lenses in this shot that I am seeing, not including the one that he's actually filming himself with. Like, I could never sit down in public and film myself like this right in front of the counter eating the jizz mango. Sorry if that's culturally insensitive.
The most delicious thing I've ever had in my entire life. My mind was blown.
I find this to be just sad. Why would anyone want to watch John Hill eat a mango by himself?
Long, fun, fulfilling day, and the whole reason I even
What the fuck? Like, look at this. Tell me he's not a raging narcissist. He's filming himself being emotional in his hotel room. So many just shots of this fucking guy's face. Anyway, this video, skate park hires security to stop skaters. You know what happens in this video? It's a fucking Sony ad. And he clickbaits it with skate park hires security to stop skaters. Yeah, technically you did reference that when he says the park that they end up going to at one point hired security guards to prevent skateboarders from like stepping on the plants while they were still growing in, or some shit like that. And so that's how he packages a Sony ad. I mean, that shit is like borderline unethical to clickbait like that, in my opinion. What does that have to do with security guards at the skate park? This dude's fucking in love with himself, and he can't cope with the fact that not everybody else is in love with him anymore. That he's fallen off the face of a fucking cliff. Man, if you can tell, I really don't like John Hill very much. I think there's something very gross about him, not in a physical way necessarily, but in sort of a passive-aggressive way. And vlogging itself, I think, is really obviously like a very narcissistic activity. But what I find even stranger about vlogging, especially if you do it by yourself, is this thing where you like set up a camera, you're in public, you're around a bunch of other people, and your only intention, you don't interact with anybody else around you. You only set up your camera to film yourself, to show people later on that you've never met, and probably 99% of them you will never meet in real life. That feels very depressing and isolating to me.
It just feels very bizarre going out into the world and only interacting with yourself to entertain others on the internet. You know, you take a videos like mine, maybe you're going to think I'm like a hypocrite, but I make all my videos in my room. When I go outside, I'll fucking talk to people and interact with people in real life. And if I were to film myself or vlog myself, like in the joke vlogs or whatever that I have made, I do them with other people. It's just so weird to go out and skate street like by yourself and then come back into your house by yourself. There's nobody in John Hill's videos 99% of the time from what I've seen except for John Hill. This screenshot is a perfect example of what I'm talking about, as this dude goes inside and eats alone at restaurants with his AirPods in while he films himself. If you saw this dude in real life, you'd think he was a fucking freak. He has zero intention of interacting with another human being. In fact, I would go as far to say that he is avoiding it.
Anyway, I know some of you guys are John Hill fans, and that's fine. If you guys like my videos and you like John Hill's videos, that's great. But these are the things that I am just, analyzing. I think a lot of the time when I talk about people, like when I talked about dumb data in my last video, people sort of assumed that I didn't want them to watch dumb data anymore. You watch whatever the fuck you want. Watch all skateboarding YouTubers if they make you happy. I just am a highly opinionated person, and I think it's interesting to do analyses on somebody like John Hill. I don't like him, but that doesn't mean you don't have to. I just hope that this is entertaining for you. I landed my first backflip, day 8. Yeah, good for you, man. Okay, so let's get into these TikToks here. And like I said, these are the main reasons that I'm filming these videos, which he's demonstrating some Joker-like tendencies, I'll say.
What? Doing all those technical tricks don't matter. You know what matters?
Oh, please don't say it.
Style.
Maybe you care about style because tricks are too difficult for you. Maybe my idea of good style is good skateboarding.
It's not about the tricks, it's about the flow and the presentation. It's also about the outfits.
I appreciate a good outfit. I appreciate skaters today wearing super baggy pants, and I'll also appreciate those same skaters wearing skinny jeans in 5 years when it's in trend. Maybe we also give a bit of love to the skaters that worked hard to learn a hard-ass trick.
If it's a little tech, it's cool.
And I don't mind simple tricks done well, especially when skaters like you are too sorry to actually do anything good on a skateboard.
So I just want to point out, first of all, that this is an adult man. His frontal lobe is now fully developed as of 6 years ago. And he is sitting at a skate park filming argument with himself. Now, this has to be a person who does not socialize with other human beings on a regular basis. So this is how he socializes. He posts conversations with himself, arguing with himself at the skate park, and then uploads them onto TikTok for internet people to look at.
What?
I also think it's funny that his selected trick for being the cool tech guy is big flip front board shove out, which is like, okay, bro, like that's not real tech. A kickflip back tail is more difficult than a big flip front board shove out.
He's like acting like tech skateboarding is so much fucking sicker than properly executed skateboarding. Like, I would say that doing a fast kickflip back tail and doing it properly, holding it for a long time, actually taking a skateboarding trick and really fulfilling it and doing it very, very well is fucking just as hard, if not harder, than doing some moronic fucking triple flippity front board pop shove out. Going slower and making your board flip more isn't just strictly a better skateboarding trick. You had to make sacrifices for that to happen. Like somebody like John Hill, who's, I think, subconsciously defending his own skateboarding. You know, that's one of the flaws in his skateboarding, and why I think he has kind of bad style, is he goes slowly to do the tricks that he does. So he's not that fucking interesting. Watching people skate slow is just not that interesting, and nobody owes you any respect for your skating, John. Like, watching you skate in gym shorts and ankle socks, doing big flip front board shove out at 2 miles per hour does not demand respect. Nobody has to fucking respect you, dude. If people like your skateboarding, if people enjoy your skateboarding, they will tell you and they will come. You don't have to explain to people why your genre of skateboarding is good. That means it's bad. Like, do you think that Nick Stain has ever had to explain to people why he's good? No, he didn't have to answer when FA fucking turned him pro. He didn't have to write a miniature essay explaining why he was a good skater.
And if this is like, if I have anything to do with John Hill and the reason that he's making these videos, then like I'll totally do a big flip front board on a flat bar with a shove it out. If John Hill thinks I can't.
Doing all those technical tricks don't matter. You know what matters? Oh, please don't say it. Style. Maybe you care about style because tricks are too difficult for you. Maybe my idea of good style is good skateboarding.
It's not about the tricks, it's about the flow and the presentation. It's also about the outfits.
I appreciate a good outfit.
Love that line delivered in the Super 64 Revive Mario bootleg t-shirt. Impeccable style.
I appreciate skaters today wearing super baggy pants, and I'll also appreciate those same skaters wearing skinny jeans in 5 years when it's in trend. Maybe we also...
This is one of the stupidest fucking opinions or takes that I've ever heard, to try to silence the haters. Bear in mind, this is an argument. He's not arguing against a real person. He's setting up the goals for himself. To say that, oh, I appreciate baggy pants now, but I also like... The tricks will be the same in 5 years where there's skinny jeans, so it's like it is pointless to discuss fashion now because it'll be different in the future. You apply that to anything, and it is just a fucking totally asinine way of looking at the world. Like, why would I discuss anything when it'll be different in 5 years? So who cares? Like, is there no analysis, or is there nothing enjoyable in trying to figure out the influences and the reasons for why things are the way that they are currently? John seems to have like a very dismissive attitude about a concept like that. For that reason and many other reasons, I think that John's refusal to sort of acknowledge that fashion is a part of skateboarding that is important to a lot of people, even though for his gym shorts and ankle socks Revive t-shirt self, it's not important. That doesn't mean that anybody who cares about it is stupid. You're stupid for saying they're stupid. Discussing like fashion and trends and style, and the reasons for why they are the way that they are, that's a difficult thing to unpack, and it takes a lot of effort, and you have to pay a lot of attention to try to analyze something like that. And to sit around and dismiss that effort and say, you know, that you're an idiot because people will be wearing skinny jeans in 5 years, it's just it's stupid, and you're dismissing analysis on something.
John Hill is like the kind of guy where you tell maybe like kind of a meta joke, and his response to you would be like, man, you're overthinking it. I fucking hate when people say you're overthinking stuff. That's like my number one pet peeve in this world. I'm not overthinking stuff. You're underthinking stuff. And by underthinking things, you like deprive yourself of a lot of joy. Like a lot of good jokes come from fucking thinking about things a lot. Like a lot of good comedy comes from thinking about things a lot. To understand things, I think you have to think, you have to use your brain, and dumb fucks like John Hill who aren't capable of using their brain will encourage other people around them to turn theirs off so they feel more comfortable.
People with sort of a rudimentary understanding of skateboarding have a preference for technical tricks. Like you see that with the kids, they go to battle at the barracks, they all cheer for Jamie Griffin because it's very simple to understand skateboarding in a finite way, where the more times the board flips, the more difficult the trick is, therefore more board flips equals better trick. It's easy to understand that way. It's like math. 1 + 2 = 3. You can teach that to anybody. So when Jamie Griffin does a triple tray flip and lands bolts, then it's like, oh my god, the kids, they fucking love that shit. That's why they were chanting his name at Battle of the Barracks. At the same time, this is Jamie Griffin, just an example of a skateboarder who can do highly technical tricks on flat. He can't do a frontside 360. A lot of skateboarding fans that have been watching skateboarding for a long time, they'll say like, oh, fucking obviously Heath Kirchart is the man. And they say that because Heath Kirchart is just a fucking Chad with excellent style, does basic tricks, but he's just a special boy. I think that if you sat John Hill down in front of a Heath Kirchart video, he'd probably get bored and say, I don't get it. Which is okay. By the way, you can be a fan of like Instagram, TikTok, social media skateboarding, but acting like that is better than like a Heath Kirchart video, and you thinking that like the people that are Heath Kirchart fans or something like Heath Kirchart, for example, a skater with good style doing some relatively non-technical tricks, if you like preferring that is not the wrong answer, dude. He's got a couple other ones of these. This just confirms my theory. Based on a true story, except my part of the conversation happened in my head 4 hours later. So John Hill actually interacted with another living, breathing human being and couldn't couldn't pull himself together to come up with anything to say to this guy who told him to stop waxing the ledge. So instead he took his frustrations out and made a TikTok about it later on.
Yo, don't wax that. Just go faster. Why don't you just learn to lean forward? How about we not try making skateboarding more difficult than it already is? You won't find ledges in the streets that slick? Then go. This is a skate park. The rules of the streets don't apply here. How about this? When you learn how to do a fakie backtail heel flip out going super fast.
I like that this is this is his choice for like a tech trick that is supposed to like give his opinion credence and authority. For the kids on TikTok, they're like, ooh, fakey tail slide heel flip out. Dude, that's not even fucking hard. Like, that's the easiest way to get into a tail slide is going into it fucking fakey. And you did it slow as hell on a waxed butter bench. Like, this is not the kind of ledge that it would be unreasonable for somebody to be like, hey, dude, would you mind not waxing that thing? And the other thing is, John, maybe if you did go a little bit faster, you would then your tricks would look better and you wouldn't be so frustrated with people having conversations about style. All these intangible elements are really not intangible, and they're things that you can discuss if you want to take the time and try to unpack your subconscious feelings about why certain skaters you enjoy watching and why certain ones you don't enjoy watching. But that takes intellectual labor, which I think is something that a person like John Hill is not willing to commit himself to. That's why for his YouTube videos, he just repackages himself at the skate park talking about his life.
About going super fast on a sticky ledge. I'll let you tell me what to do. Or we can find a middle ground. Do you mind not
See, the middle ground would just be waxing your board, dude. Like for somebody who spent all his life fucking skateboarding, like that would be the middle ground, right? Just wax your board. Nobody can tell you at the skate park not to wax your board. It's your board. You can wax it as much or as little as you want to. However, if it's a fucking plastic butter bench, like people are well within their rights to not ask you to wax that, I think, especially since you're probably like a mega kook at the park with your fucking braille shoes and your swim trunks.
Do you mind not waxing it too much? Just a little coat. Okay, sounds good. You son of a...
Did I already do this one? Oh, here we go. This is the first one that I saw. Sus ass tricks. You guys ready?
Heck.
Poor John Hill. He's alone again. Pretending to have a friend. It's like that SpongeBob episode. The gang's all here!
Hey, come here. What up, G? What are you doing?
Oh my god. What up, G? Yeah, that's a guy who speaks to people in real life for show.
Cruising around, man. What are you up to? Look, there are people here, and you're doing some sus-ass
I actually don't think there is anybody there, John. I think it's just you. As usual.
tricks. But they're fun. What does that have anything to do with skateboarding?
Once again, I think John is both insecure and projecting, about people's opinions about his own skateboarding and people that skateboard like John Hill and people like me who discuss skateboarding on the internet, and what somebody like me would say and other people have said about John Hill skateboarding on the internet, which is that his style is pretty bad. And so instead of actually confronting the idea that it is legitimate to have opinions about skateboarding, sort of it's easier for John to say, well, the people that do have opinions about skateboarding must not be having any fun. Meanwhile, I am going to pretend like I'm having an amazing time doing willy grinds when in reality I'm completely fucking miserable alone at this skate park filming TikToks defending myself against the invisible man.
Well, what makes the skate trick ugly? Well, for a varial flip, it turns like a Nollie Smith, right? It's easy to get up there, and then just the way a Smith. Well, let's look at the willy grind. It's almost like a budget crook, but it's because some.
This was earlier on where you hadn't figured out that the sideways hat thing was the ultimate way to own the straw man that you create.
But he told me it was ugly. Yeah. Well, I'm just gonna go skate. Feel free to join. I think I'll just sit here and have opinions about skateboarding.
This is the ultimate old school rebuttal, I think, to skateboarding discussion, which is just shut up and skate. None of this matters, just skate. Anybody who talks about why a willy grind may sort of be an unflattering trick, that's always the go-to rebuttal is just shut up and skate. It's if you hate on anything or if you hate on somebody who's successful, people will say, "Man, you're just jealous. You'll never have as much money as he does," which is such an a stupid way to brush anything under the rug. I think that's just brain capitalism totally brainwashing people by being oh, you got a problem with Jeff Bezos? You're just mad because he's making a bunch of fucking money. So you just must be pissed. It's well, maybe I don't like Jeff Bezos for all the drinking infant blood and child sacrifice rituals. Maybe that has something to do with why people don't like him. I just made all that shit up, but you know exactly what I'm saying. So anybody who's tells you shut up and skate, don't have an opinion about skateboarding, I think it's because they are afraid of doing the work to try to understand why people like certain tricks. That's how you end up being a braille tard. Oh, you don't like willy grinds? Well, you simply must not somebody just told you that, right? It's I can explain to you why a willy grind doesn't look very good. It's because you don't have to ollie very high. It only requires the first 30% of an ollie, which is getting your truck up there, and then you sit on it and it just kind of sags off. It's like a wounded animal with its hind leg being dragged behind it. Most people, when they do willy grinds, it doesn't look very good. There's very few exceptions. I think Kyoto has a good willy grind, somebody that John Hill has probably never heard of. So having a holier than thou attitude about people who want to have discussions about skateboarding, that's what's very annoying. It's fine if you don't want to participate in these discussions, but acting like the people who do want to talk about skateboarding in this manner, acting like they're idiots and they're unreasonable, it's incredibly arrogant. Because he presents himself as the middle ground, the fair person, when he is giving zero credence to the other side of the equation.
Before buying a Walmart board, I like to test them out. Unfortunately, sometimes this happens. My favorite part are the conversations that happen when trying to check out.
I broke it. I broke it. Yeah.
I fucking love this TikTok because it basically shows how little John Hill thinks about any single fucking thing in his life. Is that he goes to Walmart for his content creation, breaks a skateboard, and then goes and pays for it like he's morally obligated to do so. It's hey, bro, your moral compass, it has no value inside Walmart. I mean, the executives at Walmart make thousands of dollars an hour, and you're over there licking their ass cheeks paying for a broken skateboard for your little TikTok. The lady who works there is dude, what the fuck are you doing paying for this thing? I'm sure Walmart has insurance for this exact type of situation, and even if they don't, Who gives a fuck, dude? They make kabillions of dollars every single year, and you're paying out of your pocket for one of their broken shit stick skateboards? The intended joke or gag of this video is that it would be funny to buy a broken skateboard from Walmart. It's not funny, dude. It's just sad. And it reveals how little you think about anything. Like, how the fuck am I going to trust your opinion on skateboarding tricks if you go to Walmart and pay for broken skateboards? My favorite part about this is when I have to have a conversation with the cashier who thinks that I'm a complete fucking moron for giving money to a megacorp for a fucking broken product. It doesn't matter if you broke it, dude. Just leave it in the aisle and move the fuck on.
So I think that John Hill does a lot of projecting with a video like this, in that I think he is pretty frustrated probably with the state of YouTube, and I imagine that because a channel like mine, I'm guessing that I have something to do with this. Like, genuinely, I think that I do piss him off. I think the fact that a channel like mine can exist where I discuss the style of skateboarding, and I discuss outfits and I discuss tricks, and I make videos about skateboarding without actually having to ride my skateboard. I think that upsets him.
Join. I think I'll just sit here and have opinions about skateboarding. I'll be skating.
So I feel like that was kind of poignant, maybe directed at me, but I don't know. I could be over, because John Hill used to watch my videos. I know he used to, and then he stopped when I said something I think he didn't like. So I may be overestimating my sphere of influence, but I can't help but feel like I have something to do with this. So I think that John is upset with the state of his YouTube channel, and that it is possible to do YouTube and to discuss skateboarding in an analytical fashion without actually having to put lo-fi music over you doing a big flip front board at the skate park, vlog style. That there are other ways of doing it, and I think that the fact that his approach to YouTube is sort of falling out of favor, I think that's causing him to project his insecurities in a passive-aggressive TikTok like this, where he acts like I'm John, I really know what's going on, and everybody, and if you don't agree with me, then, here's you getting owned by me, but the person who's getting owned is also me, but it's also you. So, yeah, I think that's going to wrap it, guys. If you're not on the Discord, get on there. I just posted one of my uncut streams into the videos section, so definitely, guys, if you don't know how to use Discord, try to learn, because it is a really, really good tool. Yeah, watch some tutorials or whatever. Here's our Discord. Basically, what you need to know is, there's a videos tab right here where there's a bot that automatically uploads my videos. There's the politics video right here. There's a 2-hour unedited stream that I took down because I talked about politics at one point, and that was kind of cringe. But you guys can watch it if you want. And there's usually a general chat. I don't know where it went. It keeps disappearing for me. I think my shit is bugged. I need to update it. But yeah, you can talk about skateboarding. You can you can put skate videos in here. You guys can speak with each other. If anybody's feeling brave, there's a voice chat as well. So yeah, to do that, I have a post about how you can connect to the Patreon, but definitely give that a go. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. See ya.